Okay, let's talk through all these golf events that you have coming up.
Gabby, I'm glad you asked. Got my calendar right here. July 17th, I have Red Run. And then July 31st, I have the American Golf outing for the Cancer Society.
I also have the American Cancer Society golf outing on the 31st. And also, I got yours on the 18th, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
Oh, boys, these are a lot of events and golf outings.
Well, you want me to miss my own golf tournament?
Gabby, they're all great golf.
I mean, this is...
Hold on. I got this. Guys, I got this. Don't worry about it. Hold on a second.
He always.
Hey guys, thanks for coming so fast. How are ya? Remember you guys from Randy Wise, right? The Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
Watch for the eye.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports. And some, well, not so much. Brought to you in part by Premier Security Solutions, Fairway Packing Company, and Swiss Insurance. Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Hey, let's go. Wednesday show, June 28th, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz and with Terry Foster today. That's right. T-Foss in the house. But first, let me swing it over to my partner, the great Braylon Edwards, and say good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, Ryan. Good afternoon, Tom. And guess what? My mom was just asking me last week. She said, "Where's Terry been?" Well, Mom, look no further. Terry
What up,
Foster,
Mom?
what's the word?
Mom
brother?
asked about me. That's cool.
She did, man. Mom asked about you. She loves you and cares about you. So she asked about you, talked about you, and here you are.
So Terry Foster's
Spoke
in the
you up,
building
man.
today. We said, T-Foss, you have got to join us today. You have got to. So here he is. How you doing, young man?
No. Tell the truth. I begged to be on this show.
The final word?
Final word, man. This is.
You know,
I mean, this is big for me.
There may be some truth to that. I feel like at the end of the day, he had to present his case to be on the final word.
Right.
And,
Filled out the
we
questionnaire.
gave him the blessing.
Now, the last time I saw you guys, Maz was doing an edible.
Oh, man.
I want to know this. Why did your head shrink?
I think it was the video camera angle.
Is it? You
I
look
think.
like Beetlejuice
I know.
after you did that.
Shout out to Tim
It was
Burton.
2 days in a row, the camera was not good to me.
Oh, it was the
It
camera.
usually isn't good to me.
Okay.
Maz was hilarious like that whole day. That experience was definitely fun. It was laughs that were needed, but I think Maz still has a migraine from laughing so hard.
More people have commented on the Maz gummy situation than probably anything we've ever done.
I agree.
Last night at the bowling alley, at least 20 guys come up to me with the video, with my picture, laughing their asses off, and they want more.
Did you get any turkeys?
I did. Matter of fact, the last game, I had the front six.
Get out of here.
Okay.
So
I had a
four-bagger.
I had a six in a
Six
row.
in a row.
Six times.
I understand. A
Yes,
four-bagger plus
He's a
two.
regular Fred Flintstone.
I had
He
two
is.
turkeys,
He
Ryan,
looks
in
like
a
more
row.
like Barney, though.
And then I got a 9 count and a spare, and I had a chance for a 279 game
Oh, my gosh.
if I struck out in the 10th, which I didn't. But we still won.
What'd you end up with?
There you go.
242,
You ever bowled a 300?
299.
Damn.
Now, did you
That's
win a couple of bucks last night?
I could have if I had struck out or at least thrown the first strike in that 10th frame. I wound up winning $25 instead.
Okay, so paid for your bowling night.
Paid for my bowl.
See, I'm
There
not
it
a
is.
bowler. If you bowl a 300, do you have to do like you do in golf with a hole-in-one? You have to buy everyone a drink, or do they
No,
get you the drinks?
No, they usually buy you a drink.
Okay.
If you get a 300. And there was a 300 last night. Our friend Andrew Burke with another 300.
Yeah.
Really?
You bowl
Yes.
300, and they're buying your drinks for the rest of your time coming to that particular alley. And you get your name on
You
the
know
wall.
who has the most 300s in Detroit sports
Who?
media history? Perry Farrell.
Really?
P-Funk.
P-Funk has
P-Funk.
got 6.
P-Funk's good.
Yep.
6 300 bowling games?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
But
Perry
if he was here, he'd tell you he's got 9.
yeah, because he's got some that didn't count.
Yeah, right.
The
They
practice
weren't
ones.
sectioned, Right.
Yeah, the practice ones.
Performance-enhancing drugs?
No.
Oh.
In order to have a score 300, you got to play championship style bowling. So you got to go lane to lane, back and forth, etc. It's got to be the actual ways, the rules and regulations of the PBA tour.
Got a
many
boy.
rules. Too
Got a
many
boy,
rules.
Gray. I'm proud of you.
Got your back, man.
Guys, speaking of gummies, last night went to the Dave Matthews concert.
Okay.
Couple of things about this. I have not been to a Dave Matthews concert in 25 years.
Great
Neither have
concerts
I.
they put on.
And you paid for it.
I did pay for it. First and foremost, I knew 2 songs. That's one of them. Number 2, there were no black people there.
I was gonna
Just
say,
black people. There are black people in Dave Matthews though, which is
It was all
crazy.
white people.
Look.
It was all white people.
So-
I looked around.
So
you
that makes
could go to a Snoop Dogg concert. There's no black people there.
This is true. This is true. You got to see. It's either trap music or it's old school, man. That's concerts we're
Man,
at.
I
But
looked around.
You're not gonna see no black people in the Dave
Everybody
Matthews.
was a what? But like a majority of the band is African American.
It's true, but they're not playing what African Americans want to hear.
Right.
Ryan,
No,
did you see our
but
girl Cassie?
You missed
No.
you missed the fundamental rule of going to any concert. Whether you actually know the band, whether you know the performer, or you don't, you always play the music the week leading up to the concert.
And we did.
Always.
And I did. And the problem is the catalog is so large.
And it's true.
It is so large. I had no idea. I did know 2 songs, maybe a third, but that led to not much fun in these freaking jam sessions that it just ruined the concert. They ruined the
What's
concert.
the jam session?
Like,
Just
When they
music?
just go off and do their own thing,
Right.
just rock out.
We're like the guitarist is
Right.
playing. You're like, oh man, what a great guitar action.
But that's
Or
part
like
of
the
going to see a
drummer sitting
band,
there,
though.
oh man, like
But you got to show you can actually play.
right. I understand
It's
that.
not for Ryan, though.
That's part of going to a good concert. You reason you go to good concerts is live bands, Ryan. It's the live bands, and when you go to a concert, the live band they get to put on for a second. And the lead guy, he wants to make sure everybody gets their time to shine. He's like, "How about Stevie Jacks on the
Right.
drums right there, ladies and gentlemen?" They go off. It's part
Dude,
of the concert.
and I've been to Pine Knob probably in 25 years.
Since it was Freedom Hill?
Place is
Whatever it was called.
DTE. It was
DTE,
DTE.
boo.
Freedom Hill is in Sterling
Oh,
Heights.
that's not called that anymore. It's Michigan Lottery.
Michigan
now.
Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we never call it that.
Exactly.
No, still Freedom Hill.
Exactly.
But yeah, so here's a thought about the reason why. So I had a gummy last night, and these things, I was like Tom Mazawey.
How many did you have?
2.
That's double what I had.
Yeah.
Wow. Did your head shrink?
Well, listen. So I ate one, and I don't do the gummy thing. Like I don't do the gummy thing. But Tom looked like he had so much fun at Dispo.
Yeah.
So Tom Mazawey did it. So I did it.
Did Nicole have one?
No.
Did she see me have one?
Yes.
Was she disgusted?
She laughed her ass off.
All right. Good.
I'm jealous of you guys. I took some gummies and nothing happened.
Nothing? You beat it?
You beat
Yeah,
it.
I just.
I got you. I got
it
you
was
covered,
a lollipop
man.
and.
Mac told me, Maz, by the way, you can't beat it.
You can't
Because
beat
the
it.
first hour and 5-10 minutes, I was like,
I gotta get one from D-Mac because mine must have been jive.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, okay, when is something?
You had
supposed
a
to
gas
happen?
station gummy.
No, I went to a
You had,
place in
you, had
Centerline.
you had a CBD gummy. Like that may have been what it was. You got to make sure the gummy that you have is a THC
Right.
gummy.
Get
That
one from
CBD
Spencer.
gummy, that's
Spencer
not
will
gonna
get
work.
you one.
But
So
I'm laughing because Maz he left you out the dry just now.
Yeah, he
'Cause
did.
He
did.
He said, I had a gummy last night, and blah. Maz like, how many did you have? I
Right.
had two.
So well, my
He
problem
sold you
is,
out.
so I ate the first one
Right.
and I wasn't feeling anything.
Too short.
So then I was like, well, I better have another one.
Can't never do
and
that.
then
What flavor did you have?
Knockout
no
punch.
idea. I have no
Knocked his
idea.
ass out.
So I was just sitting there laughing.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, laughing. I was like that. I am surprised though that they don't sell them at stadiums. I think that might be the next. You know how they put casinos in stadiums. They've got alcohol at stadiums.
So-
I'm surprised they don't have like a
good
marijuana
damn well they're not
dispensary.
gonna have gummies at Michigan Stadium.
So right now that's interesting. You said I was actually up in Gaylord, Michigan for a golf outing a couple weeks ago, or 3-4 weeks ago, and they're trying to get the first PGA sanctioned event to have allow the consumption and sale of THC products. Right, that would be the first professional vendor in the country for any professional sports. They would never do that in the state of Michigan alone. You can't even have tobacco and alcohol in the same building. Like the hookah bars you can't even have that's tobacco.
Oh my gosh! Here's
And that's
another
tobacco.
thing.
THC, hell no.
So
They're not trying to turn it into 1969 Woodstock.
Here's another thing. I the amount of marijuana,
Yeah.
pot, as the young kids didn't
There
want me
you
to
go.
say,
Weed.
the amount of weed that was consumed
Yeah.
in the crowd.
It's ridiculous.
It's not only
It's fun.
ridiculous, it almost wasn't fun.
I said the opposite.
The people that are just smoking right next to
Right.
you, I mean, blew me out.
Now, have you been to a concert
called
in the last
contact
25 years?
I went to Comerica Park. There was no pot smoking.
But it's different. That's Comerica Park.
Yeah.
You're talking about an actual venue owned
Right.
by or
I
MLB
know.
organization. This is Pine Knob.
Right.
Bro,
This is
I
it's
went
festival
to a
land.
Muppet movie in the Renson back in
yeah,
the
this
day.
is true.
Somebody lit up a joint.
Damn. But
In
that'd
front
be
of all
one
the
person.
kids.
That's one person.
Yeah, you
though.
took the outlier route,
Who was
man.
that?
Look at that outlier
Yeah, but it
story.
smelled up the whole
Terry,
joint.
was
man.
that
It's-
Grover?
It's recreational.
Grover
man.
was always high.
Yeah, I think it was Grover.
You gotta look at it like this now. Weed is recreational. It's legal around the state. You're talking an outside venue, a concert. Hell, Pine Knob always had smoking in it before marijuana is legal.
Why don't people let you smoke cigarettes? Like that's. I was thinking about that.
Because no one's ever died of secondhand marijuana smoke.
I almost died of secondhand marijuana smoke.
No, you just got
last
high
night.
and you felt good. It's different. No one's ever died of THC marijuana smoke.
Oh my
At least I
gosh.
don't believe so.
Guys, I want to get into some sports. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk. Hey, you won't have to binge drink at Michigan State anymore.
Oh no, you want speaking of Michigan? Go ahead, Naga.
Yeah, Rich Eisen had some comments about the Michigan Wolverines and Michigan State that we can dive into. Some Lions news and cap or no cap today. It is the day we play cap or no cap.
Yeah, before we do that, Ryan, let's just go ahead and mention what happened like yesterday in terms of Ryan Mallett's run. We got about a couple minutes left in the segment. Get it out the way early. Ryan Mallett, former Michigan, Arkansas player, NFL draftee to the New England Patriots, passed away yesterday. He drowned in Florida. He was 35 years old. Never played with Ryan, but when Ryan came to Michigan, I was in the NFL, but I was always back in Ann Arbor. You remember that, Terry? I was always around the program. Met Ryan Mallett, and man, was he electric ball of fire. Like, it gave him my sidekick number, sidekick info. This is the days of sidekick, so this was a while ago. But he used to always hit my line and always say, man, I'm better than Chad. I should be playing. Put me in there. So it was always, wait your time, it's going to come. Eventually, he transferred to Arkansas, had a good career in the SEC, but just want to say, miss you, brother. Rest in peace.
Absolutely.
And the lesson in this, those ocean riptides are taking down everybody. Because he's still strong and
Right.
strapping guy, but you got to learn how to swim in that ocean.
So I know Ryan Mallett. I want to bring when we come back. I want to ask something more as it relates to Michigan and the what if thing.
You got it.
What if thing.
We'll do it all next, but first a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security
Right there.
experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. All you have to do is call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out of here.
Stay out.
Stay out. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Yeah.
Stay out.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Subscribe to Woodward Sports on Twitter. And on YouTube, by the way. Coming up on 45,000 subscribers on that platform. Hit the like button as well. Guys, I want to get into this. We've all been to college sports stadiums, covered games, played in games, all that kind of good stuff. The Michigan House has recently passed a bill that would allow alcohol sales at college games in the state of Michigan. Ironically enough, there are only 3 teams in the Big Ten that don't allow alcohol sales currently: Michigan, Michigan State, and Nebraska. So this would really push Michigan and Michigan State into a category with the rest of the Big Ten. Just your overall thought process on that, Terry. Let me start with you. You've been covering games for a long time, going to games. What do you think of the alcohol sales?
Do it. I think it's ridiculous that they don't allow it. They say, well, the college kids might get drunk. Well, damn, the college kids are drunk before they even get to the game. So, first of all, college kids are not going to buy that much beer because it's going to be overpriced. So it's going to be me and you and all the other adults buying it. The other thing, Michigan State gets around it now. Right now they do sell alcohol
in the suites.
In the suites,
Same
because
with Michigan.
They are not. Yeah, the rich people are getting it, but they're saying, well, it's technically not on the stadium grounds, so we can serve alcohol. That's baloney. Look, college sports is big boy sports. In fact, I think your school should go even step further. Sell weed at Michigan Stadium. Because
they're already quiet.
It's Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor was legal to smoke weed before it was legal anywhere. So you may as well take that step. Booze, weed, whatever. Let's finally enjoy a Michigan game. Let's hear that crowd get loud instead of it being a mortuary.
They might get quieter. That's the problem.
I don't know about you, but 2 years ago when we beat Ohio State in the snow, I pretty much enjoyed that game.
Okay, that was one game.
But it was a more recent game, so there you have it, T-Falls. Nah, you know what? I mean, I understand Hash Bass started in Ann Arbor and the whole 9 yards and all the good stuff, and now it's a legal festival and cool, but we're not selling THC inside Michigan Stadium. Let's get the alcohol first. They don't sell it in suites. You buy your own booze outside and you bring it into the suites.
Is that what it is?
They just don't turn the blind eye to it. It's like, shoot, if you're going to pay all this money that these guys have these suites for in Ann Arbor, we're not going to trip about you bringing alcohol in. But Terry, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's not going to be the kids buying alcohol. It's going to be the adults. It's going to be the adults that you have to worry about. But it's time for a shakeup. And I think if you start selling alcohol, which Michigan State will as well. Now you build a bar. Now you build it up a little bit. Now you change it. I love the suites. I love the traditional look of the stadium. The stadium needs something new. Stadium needs something like a place that kind of like an arena style setup, like LCA or outside, not Ford Field, but because it sucks. But you get what I'm saying on the concourse level. Add something like a store or something. I don't know, like a bar. There you go.
Here's the problem. Some kids will buy it, and most of them are probably underage, and 95% of them, probably 100%, have the fake IDs.
Man, this is 2023. There are no more fake IDs anymore. Nobody's gonna.
Excuse me? I have daughters.
I understand that. They're not gonna be the ones buying liquor at a stadium, though.
Yes, it will.
I disagree. I disagree.
So what happens if you sell it to an underage kid that has a fake ID and they go home and they get in an accident?
Well, what happens if any scenario.
Well, I'm just saying they're coming from the stadium.
But they're going to use the same technology that they use the airport, the scanner thing. If you don't have that, you don't think they're going to take that precaution?
The scanners work on these, Bray.
Yes, it's when you see the watermark. Like right now, if you put that your ID under the scanner, it has that highlighter watermark. That's the type of technology Michigan's going to have, not the type of technology that the Fillmore downtown has. It's going to be way better technology, so you won't have to risk the chance of a 21 fake ID passing. They asked me for my ID in Ann Arbor.
Damn.
Yeah, but you still look like you're 19.
But you missed what I'm saying. I'm simply saying I appreciate you.
Yeah, when he shaves that gray out, man, he does do it. Yeah.
I mean, gray in there. You're a hater.
So one of the things about this booze, though, is it might keep people in the stadium a little bit longer, especially a guy like me. I mean, you go to a game against Bowling Green, it's 35-3 in the second quarter, and you're like, Let's go back to the tailgate. Let's go hit up Ann Arbor. Let's go to the bar. We'll watch the second half. We'll have a drink.
You know what you should do? you should not go to games between Michigan and Bowling Green. You already know what's going to happen.
Right.
You know it's going to be a blowout, so why even go?
Well,
At least you know that
big,
now.
Yeah, that's a big part of it
There goes
too.
the first 4 games then, Terry.
I think binge drinking will be cut down though. How many times you got to get 1 more. You got to get 2 more in before you walk into the stadium.
But herein lies the other question, and then we all do this, and we've done this in the past. You say that it will decrease if, all right, cool, now you're playing Bowling Green, the scores, blah, 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 and you leave, now they'll stay. They're not going to stay. It's going to be the same thing, because now the bigger question becomes, why am I going to pay this when we got a cooler full of this outside?
Bam.
Or we got a refrigerator full of this outside? Or we can go back to the golf course where you know the golf course is going to crack all day and all night. So just because they put it in there, I don't think it's going to keep guys in there and get guys overly drunk, because people are still in Ann Arbor. Very cost effective. So why spend this when we can go have that out free in the car?
How it's going to affect is you're not going to see this before
Right.
the game.
That's what I was saying,
Everybody
yeah.
binge drinks before they go in, because
That's
you know
what
you're
I
not
am.
going to have a drink for like 3 hours.
That's exactly right. So just keep an eye on that. It's got to get through the Michigan Senate now as well. The House passed it. Got to get through the Senate. The governor is expected to sign it. Then there was this. Braylon actually sent this to the group. Rich Eisen. I'll just tell you what he said. Rich Eisen talked about Michigan State being U of M's secondary rival, and Michigan State fans know that. That upsets them. This is a quote. MSU is. MSU is U of M's secondary rival. Michigan State fans know that. That upsets them greatly because Michigan is their rival. That's nice because we've got a big game in November. That's the one. I feel like it was an unnecessary shot at the Spartans.
Oh, wow. I'm on the final
But
word.
do we know? But do we know the whole context of the whole interview?
Well, no, I don't know the context, but just seeing the quote, hearing the quote, I believe it's an unnecessary shot at the Spartans.
What? This coming from the guy that was just giving Aiden Hutchinson grief yesterday?
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Hell
that's for
no.
different reasons.
But, fellas, come on. It's true, but it's Michigan arrogance that said that. I mean, that's why people don't like you guys.
Yeah, man,
Because
you know
you're
what?
assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Not you.
No, I'm an asshole too, and I'm fine with that, but I beg to differ. Like, when Michigan State was beating the hell out of Michigan for the better part of 10, 11, 12, let me finish. Michigan, because you're not Michigan or Michigan State, so you need to chill. We had no problem with the Michigan State thing and the jokes they cracked and all that other stuff and all the things that they said. We took it in stride because we deserved it at the time. But in that space of the last 13 years, there was another team that was beating the hell out of both of us and everybody in the Big Ten, and that's Ohio State. And in that span from when Michigan State kind of took over, Michigan and Michigan State became the game because neither one of us could beat Ohio State. And I think in that space, people kind of forgot. And I feel like the Michigan-Michigan State rivalry actually kind of went up because there was no rivalry with the team down in Columbus for either one of the teams in the state. And I think that now pisses Michigan State off because now we're like, oh, forget you guys. We left you behind in only the last 2 years. And to your point there, that's wrong. But, hey, that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, but still, even when Michigan State was beating Michigan, y'all were saying, well, still the game is Michigan-Ohio State, even though
Because
they're
it
beating
is.
your ass.
So, but it was the game.
It was not the game.
It's always going to be the game.
Even
Whether
when-
it was a game is a different story.
Even when they're popping you upside the
It's
head.
still the tradition of what is.
Terry, why do you hate Michigan so much?
Because they would never admit that they were in a
Who's
rivalry
they?
with Michigan State.
Who's
the
they?
Michigan people.
Of course we do.
We met all the time. What are you
Listen,
talking about?
If you asked me personally, I want to beat Michigan
it's
State.
it's not. We're not as strong as we are before, so that's how they can beat us. And there's always fluky stuff.
I'd rather beat Michigan State than Ohio State. I know I'm in the minority, but I'd rather beat Michigan State and beat them good.
I guess for me, rivalries change. I think Ohio State is always the number one rival, but there was a period of about 10 years from 08 till about
3 years ago.
18, from 08 till hell 21.
That's why I said 3 years ago. They just beat us 2 years ago.
For 13 years, I do think Michigan's biggest rival was Michigan State because Ohio State was on such a completely different orbit from where your program was. That wasn't even a rivalry. When you lose 18 out of 20 games, that's not a rivalry. There's no rivalry there. But the Michigan State thing became personal. It became real, and it became Michigan's biggest rival, the Michigan State Spartans. I guess I just don't understand. And now it's transferred back to Ohio State.
Yeah.
And maybe if you beat Ohio State for 10 years in a row, maybe your new rival will be Alabama or USC or Georgia or whoever the next one is. With the, always the inherent rivalries. But I just thought it was unnecessary. You never want to punch down. You only want to punch up. And there's no need to punch down at the Spartans right now.
I just think we need to get the whole context of the conversation, because I don't know if he was necessarily punching down. I don't know what was the question asked before, what was the snide remark made. Yeah, we got a lot of arrogance about us. We have a lot of reasons why to be arrogant. But Michigan State, they're sneaky with their comments when you have back and forth with them. Oh, you're a Michigan guy. And they instantly go into why they don't like you or what you did wrong. Excuse me, I'm nothing like those guys. Or that wasn't me, that was it. So Michigan State talk stuff too. They can get it as
big
well.
Time. Now, here's why if I were a Wolverine, I'd much rather beat Michigan State than Ohio State. You just have to deal with Ohio State once day a year.
Yeah.
And they'll make fun of you, spit on you, and throw stuff at you one day a year. Now, when you lose to Michigan State, you got to hear that stuff all year. They're assholes too, and they put it in your face as many times as they can. So I'd want to shut you up.
So I understand that theory, but I also disagree with it because I will take the 2021 season of losing to Michigan State, but beating Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. I'll take that season over beating Michigan State, losing to Ohio State, and not winning the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, but the only reason you're able to do that is because Michigan State freaking lost to Purdue. Got their asses kicked. They beat Purdue. You don't get that wonderful thing.
That's true, but we know that's not going to be the case.
We can't play it. You can't play it. You can't play the if game, because at the end of the day, when you lose to Michigan State, you're talking to a guy that hates Michigan State. I hate Michigan State maybe more than I hate Ohio State. You lose to Michigan State, yeah, it sucks here. But here's the only place it sucks. When you lose to Ohio State, it sucks in the whole 50 states. It sucks around the country. So I would much rather lose to Michigan State and then beat Ohio State because it has national implications. No one cares about Michigan State and Michigan except this state.
The NFL's Bucky Brooks put the top 10 non-quarterback building blocks together. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But next, it is a Wednesday tradition here on the Ermanni and Edwards
we got
with Maz program. We are going to be doing cap or no cap with the great Terry Foster in the house. Cap or no cap is next. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one but two vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, two cars. One for you, your wife, your girlfriend, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, and cousins, whoever you want to give it to. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
A lovely Wednesday afternoon in the city of Detroit. Coming up on the end of the month here. My goodness, where is 2023 going? How's 2023 going for you so far?
It's my sister's birthday today.
Get out of here.
One of my sisters,
Happy
Christine.
birthday, Christine.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Get
Love
out
you.
of there. Braylon Edwards, Terry Foster.
You know, it's Christina Gennari's birthday
Christina
today.
Gennari.
Happy birthday, Christina. We love you.
Gennari.
Yes.
Love Christina Gennari.
We do.
Absolutely.
Fine young lady.
Yeah, if you're looking to buy or sell a house, call Christina Gennari.
The birthday girl.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday.
I don't know if I should call her because I'm trying to sell a house in the hood.
Oh, she
Everybody
takes,
doesn't go to the hood.
She got you.
She'll take that.
Okay. She got you.
Should go there.
All right.
Absolutely.
Why don't you sell it to Kissimmee?
Who's Kissimmee? That's Yosemite.
Yosemite.
Who's Yosemite?
Terry always talks about his friend Yosemite.
He's from Spain.
Who tried to talk to the Pistons about not drafting Darko Milicic.
I went to Joe Dumars before the draft and said, don't draft him. And I told him about Yosemite. Yosemite saw Darko play in games because he was a postman for Spain. And his
Get
hobby
out of here.
was he liked to see European games. So the only reason I paid attention to him is because he told me about Dirk Nowitzki when I didn't know who this dude was.
Yeah.
And then he said Darko can't play. He said he's a great workout guy, and but he can't play. And he was a Pistons fan. And he said, please, he said 3 times, please tell Joe, do not draft Darko Milicic. The dude is awful.
And you did. And what did he say?
He said, who's this guy?
Who's Yosemite? Exactly. That's what he said. Exactly. I knew what that question was. Man,
I don't know Yosemite. I said, well.
You get on that executive level, and then you're probably trying to explain, like, well, who is it to you? Well,
the postman.
Well, I kind of met him, in the airport, and he's a postman, and everybody, man, get your ass out of my office.
As soon as he heard postman, he's like, get away from me.
Look at that. Remember Bill Tobin and Mel Kiper?
Yeah, who the hell is
his
Mel
neighbor?
Kiper?
My neighbor's
yeah.
a postman, and what the hell does he know? He's not even a
so
cold
funny.
season ticket holder.
That's funny.
All right, Braylon Edwards, here we go. Explain it to the people. Cap or no cap?
Cap or cap basically means lie or no lie. I will make a statement, and I will say cap or no cap. First question out the gate. Well, I guess they're not questions, but they are to a certain extent. Here we go. First topic. Damian Lillard will be moved before the season starts. Cap or no cap?
That's no cap. I think he will be moved. I think this is one of those rare guys that would love to stay in Portland, but I'm just not sure that's gonna work out that way. I think he moves. I'm not sure where he moves to, but I do think that Lillard will be playing for a different city next year.
Cap or no cap?
I believe he wants to stay in Portland, but he also has this pressure from other guys saying, dude, do you want to win a championship or at least compete for one? He will buckle down to the guys that say, man, you should at least compete for a championship. He will be traded.
Good job, Parker.
All
on
right,
these
no
graphics,
cap. What you got,
man.
cap?
Oh,
or no
I got Cap. He's not going anywhere. Matter of fact, I just watched part 1 of the Bill Walton special, The Luckiest Guy in the World.
Told you about it.
Yep, he loved to be in Portland. When he got drafted to Portland, it was like him going to heaven. By the way,
But the people hated him, though.
It bored the hell out of me, and I turned it off.
I told you why was it I do not understand.
I shut it off.
I don't understand why they made a 4-part series about Bill Walton.
No, it's
Right.
4 parts.
It was horrible. I didn't get through 20 minutes.
My God, and he's so whatever. But it's
Lillard and Scoot Henderson, they're going to be good together
All they do in Portland is smoke weed and drink coffee.
and get rained on.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not really a rain. It's a spit.
It's a spit.
But let me say this. If you play for the Trailblazers, man, those fans love you. It's like a high school team.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about Philly and New York crowds and everything. They're like, oh, you lost today? Oh, you played pretty well. We're proud of you still.
They were born in
Tried hard.
1974. They're the first 3 years of their existence, they were getting crowds under 5,000 fans. And they survived and became that super team of the late 70s. That was a great team to watch, man. That series against the Sixers was unbelievable.
That's no cap.
Yeah, I'm going to say no cap. And the reason is because you got an interesting situation with them. You got liars in the front office that says, oh, we're going to build around you, but then you go draft Scoot Henderson. You got liars by Damian Lillard that says, well, I really want to stay, but they got to put something around you. He wants to get out of there as well. You got both teams that want to play the loyal role. I'm trying to be loyal to Portland. I'm trying to be loyal to Dame. Neither of them is trying to be loyal to each other at the end of the day. Dame will be moved because I feel like it goes back to what you said. That pressure's coming from the guys in the NBA that have moved around, that have seen how owners operate. The KDs of the world, the Bradley Bills of the world. They're going to talk to Dame and say, look, that owner don't care about you. He brought in Scoot Henderson to replace you, not play alongside of you. So
you know where he'd be great?
Milwaukee.
I was going to say Miami.
Milwaukee. Miami doesn't have enough to give him because you got to give up a ton to get Damian Lillard, right? All they have is guards. Strus, guard. Vincent, guard. Like Hero, guard.
Strus is coming here.
All of those are guards, so who are you going to really give up to get Dame back? Milwaukee, on the other hand, I give up Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. A couple guys make that happen. No cap, Dame won't be there.
No cap. Next
Number
question.
2. Maz, this is more for you.
All right.
Shohei Ohtani is the most exciting player across the 4 major sports of North America. Maz, what say you?
I even made a topic later on.
For the show.
Can we just do this topic now and then continue on later with cap or no cap?
Whatever you want to do.
I think that's great.
It plays into
that's
this.
What I said,
really.
Plays into this,
You almost hit it on the money. I'm going to say this. That is no cap. That is the absolute truth.
My man.
He's the greatest athlete for the first 5 years of a career than anybody, and I'm including Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I think when you do look at it now, and I ask you two the same question, you have to think football, you're thinking what? Patrick Mahomes, you're thinking basketball, you're thinking Jokic, you're thinking maybe Giannis or whoever you believe to be the premier superstar. And then in, what's the other one?
Hockey.
It's Connor McDavid.
Yeah,
I'm talking about right now.
Right now.
It'll be
Very
Connor
good.
McDavid and what he's doing in the NHL. So Ryan, cap or no cap?
It's no cap, and the guy is so special, and that's why I desperately want him to leave the West Coast.
Dodgers.
I just want him out of there. For a guy like me, I'm not staying up past to midnight to watch a baseball game. I'm not staying up past 10 o'clock to watch a baseball game. I feel cheated, actually, as a sports fan, that I don't watch Shohei Ohtani live. There's very, very rare occasions that I see him actually play baseball that's not in highlight form of some kind. So I feel cheated as a sports fan. I hope to God they get him to an East Coast team, because you want to talk about a lack of popularity in baseball. I think the pitch clock and some of the things that they've done really enhanced the game this year. Yeah. But Shohei Ohtani makes baseball cool again.
Put up those numbers, Parker, when you get a minute. Last night
cap
he
or
had
no cap?
definitely
no
he had
cap.
2 home runs,
In
10
fact-
strikeouts last night.
In fact,
That was just
fellas,
my brother.
I hope the Red Wings sign him as a free agent. Let's see what we can do on the hockey.
As good as he is, man.
He probably could.
He probably could play it all. And maybe Lamar Jackson would have been a better choice at quarterback, but picking up weight last year, he wasn't necessarily as fast and electric. It's nothing like it. Like, in no major sport is it anything like it. I mean, to wake up and hear that he had 10 strikeouts and hit 2 home runs. I mean, that would be essentially like waking up and saying that Patrick Mahomes threw for 5 touchdowns and, oh, by the way, he played safety and had 3 picks.
Right.
Like, that's become the example. And I didn't make that example up. You heard it, too. Like, that's the example. And can you imagine Patrick Mahomes having 5 tuds and 3 picks? It's just crazy. Like, I don't. It's
The only reason we don't say Ohtani is
because
the
he's not
greatest
American.
is because we don't see him.
He could win the Cy Young.
Not American.
He could win the Cy Young and, well, the
MVP.
Triple Crown. He almost got the Triple Crown last year. But he is the MVP of baseball, period.
Let me ask you, because I hear that argument about the non-American thing too, but again, Mike Trout, I think really is almost in the same category. Mike Trout is a milquetoast white kid who is extremely boring, but they tried to make this star out of him, and I don't think Mike Trout ever really connected.
And they failed.
I don't tune in to watch it.
He doesn't want that.
1, he doesn't want it. 2, baseball just isn't where it is nowadays. The reason why I use it for, and I don't use it just for baseball. It's basketball. It's football. It's every sport. Like, if you're not American born and you're playing the major fours, and you're having success, they'll build you up to a certain point, but they're not going to put you over American legends. So that's why I said it's the American born type deal.
I think to me, if he was in New York or in Boston or something like that, I think he would have been he would be one of the biggest stars on the planet.
He still is,
he
right?
Is now. Like,
and
and
the guy's got a great personality. He lights up the TV.
Yeah.
A smile ear to ear.
That's the
I don't care.
That's the one thing that gets
matter.
him.
I don't care.
Personality.
No, I don't care what he's saying. I watch what he's doing.
Well, I want to
He
know
struck
what
out
he's
10 guys last night, Terry, and he goes and hits 2 home runs.
Okay. And we didn't understand the post-game interview, and that's why he's not.
Sure, I did. I heard his interpreter. That's fine.
Oh, you got the little box thing.
But is the interpreter telling the truth?
Who knows?
No.
Nah,
Actually, the
sometimes they
interpreters,
don't.
No, they don't. And I, firsthand, can tell you why. I was covering
Terry.
the World Cup here in '92.
Alexi Lalas.
The Brazilians were here. And so I met a cutie pie who spoke Portuguese.
Right.
And so she was saying,
I bet
can
you did.
get me behind the scenes so I can see, I just want to see the Brazilians. And I said, well, yeah. I had to talk to
At
the
a
security
price.
guy, and I said, but I need a price. I said, when they're talking, tell me what they're saying. And so she said, okay, fine. So they were doing the blah, blah, whatever. And then the interpreter would tell us what they were saying, and she would always do like this. No, that's not what he said. And she would tell me what he said and blah, blah, blah. So, no, they're not telling you.
I know
That's
that.
so
I know
funny.
that from boxing.
Yeah.
I got some friends up there in boxing, and they're in the ring with those guys. You know, the twins that do all the Al Heyman fights, and they're always in the ring. They put the promotion on. They're in there. They speak those languages of the guys, some of the fighters, and they like, because those translators, they get stuck. You see them hesitate sometimes. Them translators like, yeah, what he said was, that was a hesitation to figure out how can I put this in layman's terms and not tell you what it really said.
Oh my God! Question 3, Braylon.
All right, cap or no cap, the Lions will have the #1 offense in the NFC North.
Oh, that's no cap.
There's no cap. Now, before you answer, the reason why I asked this question, you look at the Green Bay Packers. They might have a better offense than people think. They got 2 proven running backs. They got some young wide receivers. You look at Minnesota, minus Dalvin Cook, understood, but they were 13-4, pretty explosive with Kurt and Justin. And then Chicago got an explosive quarterback, but now you bring in some explosive weapons at wide receivers. So that's why I asked the question. Cap or no cap?
No cap. Lions going to have the #1 offense in the NFC. In the NFC.
The whole thing.
The entire 16-team NFC.
With Jameson missing the first 6 games.
With
trying to
Jameson
figure out the
missing,
offense.
yes.
Let me finish.
Yes.
With no deep threat.
With no
deep threat.
Yes.
David Montgomery running back.
Jones Jr.
Okay. No, I said deep threat. I didn't say a man that has good body position.
Deep.
All right.
Very deep.
Cap.
Thank you.
That's not happening.
In the NFC North or the
NFC North? That question, NFC North. Ryan went and he did all the extra stuff.
I expounded. I did the extra stuff.
I'm doing the whole NFC.
Do both. NFC North, will they be #1? Probably.
Yeah, probably.
All right, cool. Now do the NFC.
But they can't be #1 in the whole NFC because when you are a power football team and you want to, win with the run, your goal is not to be the #1.
Not to beat yourself
in the NFC. Your goal is to move the chains. Don't beat yourself. Give your defense time to rest. And that doesn't necessarily result in big yards and big scores and stuff like that. Your job is to win. So, bam.
I love it, Maz.
That's no cap. By the way,
No
I
cap.
love the graphic. Good job, Parker and JB.
Crushing it,
Excellent.
Parker and JB.
That's a no cap. They had a great offense last year. It's going to be better this year. Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. I love that offensive line. Jared Goff, 7 turnovers last year, doesn't fumble. That's a cap. That's a no cap, big time.
Braylon, you continuing on here?
I was going to answer.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say there's no cap as well, but as it relates to the NFC, I understand Ryan. Ryan's always like, things are changing. There's moving pieces. The Eagles don't have the same offensive coordinator. Things have changed. One of the things changing is the Lions offense. A lot of new pieces this year, including rookies. So I think they'll struggle early on, to be honest. But I think by the time Jameis Winston comes back, I think they're going to explode a little bit. So that's my That's my analysis.
Continuing on with cap or no cap?
We can take a commercial break. Or how you
yeah,
said
we're going to take a break. Yeah. But after that, we'll continue on.
Okay.
Cap or no cap. Also, Bucky Brooks, top 10 non-quarterback building blocks. There is a Lion on this list. And big news today regarding gambling in the NFL. More suspensions due out. But first, a message from Big Boy.
That's right. It's Strawberry Fest at Big Boy. Guys, get down there for the breakfast. Enjoy those beautiful strawberry hotcakes or the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. I called it black velvet yesterday, but I'm bringing it back to red velvet waffles today. If you're not in the mood for breakfast, why not? Breakfast is always good. It doesn't matter. But they got the snack for you. You know it. It's the strawberry bacon chicken wrap or a refreshing summer splash salad. Don't you dare leave without dessert, especially the delicious, fresh strawberry pie. That's a classic. The deep fried vanilla Oreo and the strawberry hot fudge cake. Plus, you get to order a Big Boy while you're there. Check it out at your local Big Boy.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Hey, that's time to talk about Dispo. This Friday, we'll be at Romeo Dispo, second time there. It is an amazing place. They call it the I want to say they call it the Marijuana Mall Mart. You know what I'm saying? It's a dope spot. 10 locations statewide. We were there this past Friday over there in Hazel Park. Shout out to people there. They did a heck of a job. It's fun, man. You saw Maz got off that gummy, had a good time. It's a fun time. Got to be over 21, though, ladies and gentlemen. Come out, recreational only, no medical. It's a great time. We'll be out there. Come join us, Romeo Dispo.
Maz, you eating a gummy this Friday?
I just might.
Very good.
He's got to.
Yeah.
It's got to be a new tradition.
Maybe a different flavor this time.
Ooh,
there you go.
Okay.
Maybe a different company.
I'll see.
Man. What was the flavor last time?
Grape
apple.
Green apple.
Green apple.
Sour apple. Well, green apple.
Yeah, sour green apple.
Very good, Tom Mazawey. We'll be looking forward to that.
The guys at the bowling alley want me to start bringing them in for everybody.
Now, I will tell you this. That will not help your bowling game.
I know that.
That won't help your bowling game at all.
Oh, my
I know
gosh.
that.
That's so great.
Now, when you buy, are you a hooker or a straight guy?
I throw a slight hook.
Okay.
Yeah.
I lean my head down, look at the next question. I heard Tara, I was like, "Are you a hooker?" Like, whoa, wait a minute, kid show.
It's a bowling term, young man.
I'm joking.
Okay, all right.
I got a 300 in my belt.
Oh, you do?
But I don't have a cross lanes 300.
Oh.
I got on the same lane 300.
Damn.
So it doesn't count. Most I ever did cross lane was 279.
Oh man, that's big stuff though.
And it's on the board at Novi Lanes.
Love
that.
It's
on the board.
Braylon
279.
Edwards.
That's what we do. Let's get the game back going, ladies and gentlemen.
Cap or no cap?
Cap or no cap? The city of Detroit, this is for you, Terry. City of Detroit will overlook another non-playoff year from Stevie Y. They will not overlook, excuse me. The city of Detroit will not overlook another non-playoff season by Stevie Y. The great Stevie Eiserman.
Now, for me to say that they will overlook it, that's no cap?
Yeah, so the city of Detroit has no cap.
No cap. They will. They will overlook it.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm convinced Stevie Y is going to do something this year. All they want him to do is a big splash. I think he's going to make the phone calls and try to get Austin Matthews here.
But what if they don't make the playoffs? Do the city, after the season, does the city say, we don't care that it's Stevie Y. We don't care what he did here. We don't care about Tampa. He hasn't won here.
He'll have a little bit more heat, but still, you get a lot of leeway here if you're a certain person here.
Okay.
So I think they'll still overlook Stevie Y. He'll still be the man
for
here.
one more year.
Yeah, for another year.
One more year. That's no cap.
Okay.
Yeah, for one more year. Maz?
They're going to let Stevie go 20 years. It'll take him whatever long it'll take. They're going to give it. But he's on the cusp right now. He's got all those draft picks. They got pick number 9 tonight and pick number 17. tonight. Don't ask me who they're going to take. They will make a trade. I think Alex DeBrincat might be coming over. He's a great goal scorer as well. It might not be the big splash that Terry's talking about, although I'd love to see Austin Matthews or, Connor McDavid. That would be a real splash. Talk about a guy that no one knows in hockey. That's because he plays out in Edmonton. If he played here in Detroit, holy God, but would that be something? Anyway, Stevie Y will get it right. Detroit will overlook it again if they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, Connor McDavid joined Bobby Orr as well as Wayne Gretzky as the fastest to win 3 MVPs in a row. I say Cap. And the reason I say Cap is I saw when they traded Tyler Bertuzzi, a lot of people were not happy with Detroit. A lot of Red Wings fans were not happy they moved Tyler Bertuzzi. Didn't feel like they got enough in return. Now there's talk of Tyler Bertuzzi potentially coming back to Detroit. I think Stevie Eiler's been under the gun. I think we live in a new society. You have new Red Wings fans. Everything has to happen now. You see people have success in sports now. I think Red Wings fans want it to happen now. I think if he has a bad year this year, they don't make the playoffs. I think you're going to have some people calling for his head. Now whether
you heard
it won't
grumbling,
happen.
but did you hear a big uproar?
Well, no.
I didn't hear it.
No, because I think they're still holding on to the 2 championships with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I think it's not even about the 4 with the Red Wings. It's the 2 in Tampa. I think if they miss the playoffs this year, you'll hear some grumbling.
Hey, somebody brought up Alan Travel's name.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I thought that was a great comparison.
He's not a GM. He was a manager, and they wanted him out after freaking 2 years, if you ask me.
A year and a half, really.
Yeah, I don't think he got as much leeway as Stevie Yzerman's going to get.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's a fun one. Here's a fun one, T. I think I'm going to come right back to you on this one and then go around the room. This pegs on the heels of Dennis Rodman. His comments about Jokic and Larry Bird. Obviously, we know the history between Dennis Rodman, Larry Bird. Said if he was a black guy back in, 87, he'd just be another guy, wouldn't be that good. So we know the history. He says that Jokic is a more skilled player than Larry Bird. In your humble opinion, Terry Foster, was he correct? Cap or no cap? Nikola Jokic is a more skilled player than Larry Bird.
Which one is
a lie?
Yeah,
that's Cap.
Cap. That's a lie.
Cap.
Jokic, wonderful player, but people forget that Larry Bird. All they think, he could just shoot. No, he did a lot more than that. Larry Bird, one of the things that he used to do is he used to throw the home run pass better than anybody ever saw. He was a guy that seemed to hit
the Kevin Love, as they call it,
90% of his shots in the last 30 seconds. He took that shot. He was arrogant. He just knew he was the better player that day against no matter who.
So can I ask you a question about this? Because I did hear that, and I found it to be interesting because I feel if it was like a player today, in today's game, that said that about Larry Bird, I would not be surprised by that. But the fact that, because I think cats do take one look at Larry Bird and say, no chance, no way, no chance. It's impossible that he could be as good as everybody says he's good. But for Dennis Rodman, the guy that battled him,
but he doesn't like him. He's the one that
he doesn't like him.
He made the comment that if Larry Bird was black, he'd be another guy. So it would make sense that he would be the one to make that comment.
Because Dennis Rodman is crazy.
Yes, he is crazy. But again, I always felt like that players back then, and you can hate them all you want, but I mean, Larry Legend was a good player.
Hey, Brian, the man said if he was black, he'd be just another player. The fact
you think that's true?
No, it's not. But what I'm saying is the fact that he can
sit there. Why are you getting so mad?
Because the fact that he can say that, I don't understand how somebody can say it in the 80s, and you're like, I don't think why would he say that?
No. Do you know what he said where Larry Bird would be today?
Yes, overseas in Europe, but I didn't bring that up. That's blasphemous, so I didn't even bring that part up.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, I would think he had a lot of respect for a guy like that.
But if you have respect for someone, you wouldn't say if you were black, you'd just be another player. Like, if you have respect for someone, you don't make a comment like that. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Now, here's what I will say. Larry Bird got more publicity because he was white. I think the media was rooting for him more because he was white.
Why do you think no one else has won 3 MVPs in a row? Because Larry Bird's got 3, and they're going to leave it at that. No one will ever win 3 in a row anymore. He's got that title, and they won't let anybody do it.
He's the only one that has it?
He's the only one.
Not Wilt Chamberlain, not Jabbar.
They didn't have it back in Wilt Chamberlain's day. No one's won 3 MVPs except Larry Bird. 85, 86, 87.
Jeez.
Yeah, they took an MVP from Shaq.
Exactly. It was like, nah, we can't let you do it. Because it's the thing. It's like, he's our guy. He was one of the guys that got the league going in the right way, but
I know I wasn't.
You know
rooting
the
for him.
undertone. It
That's
is what
one
it is.
thing.
I think it's tough when you try to. Is it a skill or better player? I'll help you out. Larry's the better of both. Larry Bird, before he messed his back up, was unstoppable. You're talking about someone that understood how to pass the ball. He could dominate the game without scoring baskets. He played defense, much to people's chagrin. Scored whenever he wanted to. Made shots whenever he wanted to. Was the best trash talker of all time. One of the underrated stats. Look at Larry Bird's games against the great Michael Jordan. He dominated Michael Jordan head-to-head his whole career.
Wow.
His whole career.
Damn.
Even when Larry messed his back up, his last year in 1991, Larry had 42, Jordan had 27.
Yeah, but Jordan did bust him for 61 though.
63.
Whatever it was.
Hey, I will say this.
Who won the game?
Larry Bird's another one of those athletes that I'm sad that I didn't root for. Like, I hated him so much. I didn't enjoy his career. Now looking back at him and seeing all those highlights, I still don't like him.
You were for Patrick Ewing.
Well, I rooted for. I don't root for Boston, and especially not Bird. I just despise them. I don't know. I guess I'm not a good guy to ask. I guess.
But
I think
like,
people. You know what people do?
Right.
They underrate White Boy Wiggle. Because he's non-athletic, but Larry Bird had the White Boy Wiggle where he would go like this, and you fall for it, and all of a sudden he's coming back here. Yeah. That's a very underrated skill, man.
Hell yeah. No doubt.
He was a great player.
And he would fight you.
You know how we always do top 10, and I always have him on the cusp of being in there.
Larry Bird, what do you mean on the cusp? Larry Bird's in the top 10. Larry Bird is usually, for me, floating around 7-8.
Okay.
He's always in my top 10.
I can't argue with you.
Good stuff. All right, guys. You got any more, Bray?
2 more. I'll make them quick.
Good. Oh, yeah. No, let's do them, dude. I ain't got.
Hey, look, man. It's some good ones, man.
Hey, man. I ain't got no clock on you.
All right, here we go. Cap or no cap. Lions will have 7 Pro Bowls, including alternates. This coming seasons.
That's no cap. I think the Lions are going to make it to the NFC Championship game at a bare minimum, and I think they're going to have a lot of guys make a Pro Bowl.
Ooh.
Amon-Ra, Jared Goff, Aiden Hutchinson, Penei Sewell,
C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Jack Campbell.
David Montgomery.
Just throwing him out there.
Cap only because the Pro Bowl is a joke. It's not necessarily
Well,
the
it's
best
still a
team.
Pro Bowler.
So that's
It's a Pro Bowler.
No, it's all pro, and then there's Pro Bowl.
Right.
It's two different
Yeah,
things.
All Pro is really good.
Did you say all pro or did you say
No,
Pro
you said
Bowl?
Pro Bowl.
I said Pro Bowl.
Yeah, 7. That's no cap.
I made
That's
both.
true.
So it's easier to make the Pro Bowl.
There'll probably be 7 who deserve it, but they'll give them 5 or 6 because it's the Lions. And you got to wait your turn.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you make the Pro Bowl the year after you really should have made it. For instance, Dre Bly made the Pro Bowl here in Detroit when he didn't deserve it.
Because he was good the year before.
He's good.
I'm going cap on this. I'm going to say about 5.
I'm going to say no cap. I'm going to disagree with both you and Terry Foster. I understand what Terry is saying, but at the end of the day, they're going to make it because everybody is watching. This isn't the same old Lions. They're not going to use the same old Lions beat. You're going to have 3 off the offensive line alone. You'll have 2 in the secondary. Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they'll find another one, maybe another 2. I'll say no cap. They'll have 7.
Maybe Jack Fox.
7-8.
Give me the last one, Brad.
Jack Fox don't count.
Yeah, he does.
Cap or no cap. The AFC and the NFL is more dominant than the West and the NBA. Cap or no cap?
No cap. That's an absolute fact.
Yes.
This AFC conference is
second to none.
as good as we've ever seen one conference in sports.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely no cap. The NBA West, it's not as strong as it has been. I mean, the Lakers aren't the Lakers anymore. Phoenix was supposed to be that team with KD. They may not.
They just added Bradley Beal.
Yeah, Bradley Beal. Give me a break, dude. That's not a championship move. That's a PR move. That's a move. You bring a guy in to score a bunch of points and stuff. But, I don't.
That's how you win.
Huh?
You score points.
I know you score points, but there has to be some rhyme or reason. There has to be, it has to make your roster better in terms of being championship caliber.
Guys, we'll go to the NFL next. Bucky Brooks, top 10 non-quarterback building blocks in the NFL. There's a Lion on the list.
Ooh.
We'll do that. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
P-Fit.
Yes, Planet Fitness. We all know Planet Fitness as your judgment-free zone where you can work out
Thanks,
for just
T-Foss.
$10 a month.
T-Foss,
Thanks,
my
T-Foss,
guy.
for
Yes,
sticking
sir.
with us through the show. You can work out at Planet Fitness for only $10 a month. And as of right now, Planet Fitness is thrilled to allow high schools 14 through 19 in the U.S. and Canada to work out for free all summer long with their Planet Fitness High School Summer Pass. Teens can officially gain access to the club as of right now and all the way up until August 31st. But also, Planet Fitness is also giving away over $200,000 to high schools and students. Teens who sign up for the high school summer pass can help win scholarships for their school and also participate in a TikTok video contest for academic scholarships. Visit the landing page for more information and legal disclosure at pfsummerpasscontest.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Hour number 2 of the Woodward Sports Network. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz.
That was fun with T-Foss.
That was great with T-Foss.
Yeah,
what a treat it is to just break up the week a little bit and have a sit down with Uncle Terry.
I love how you just dropped the mic. You know, since a legendary
That's
movie.
it. He's like, I'm out. It's all good. JB in the house. Parker in the house. I want to just adjust my footstool here. 1 second, please. And a
Trash can.
trash can. So
Doubling as a footstool.
I gave Terry Foster the use of the footstool here today.
That was nice of you. That was very nice of you.
Just got to get myself situated here.
You might want to shut that green mic off too.
Oh,
There's a button on it that we could, if you hold it down, it will shut itself off. But those are great questions, by the way. Cap, no cap.
Yeah, it was
very
great
well
today.
done,
Appreciate
Braylon.
it. Thank you.
And great graphics by the boys.
Yeah, the Ohtani one
Appreciate
too
you,
is
brothers,
so.
man.
Yeah.
It's such a great topic and a great question because it just.
Let's ask you. I want to ask you guys. Do you think he is the best athlete of all time in this time period that he is? What is he? 5 years so far?
5 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
I'm asking you, Braylon. I'll go to you first.
It's not even close. Like you try to find the person that transcends the sport the way he did. I mean, you look at Barry. Barry had 5,000 yards years back to back to back to back. But outside the state of Michigan, you can't convince people that he was the best running back, if you will. I mean, you look at Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson had a shot, but then Bo Jackson get injured. He doesn't make it through a full 3 seasons of baseball or football. Like Deion Sanders. I mean, he was great in football early, but baseball took a little time before he was able to develop. Like, no one has hit a stride like this to where it's not about being the best, Ryan Ermanni, in the sport, because you've had guys that have come in and been high. I mean, Patrick Mahomes has dominated the sport for his 5 years, dominated the sport. But it's nobody that you're like that other than Shohei Ohtani, where you're just like I have nothing to compare this to. I don't know what this is. Even with Patrick Mahomes, is great, and there's other quarterbacks that have had success. You look, but Shohei Ohtani in these 5 years, I mean, he's the best hitter. And this is a division that this is a league that features Aaron Judge. He's the best hitter in the league. He's the best strikeouts because he doesn't have the best ERA. He doesn't have that, but he leads in strikeouts. He's striking everybody out. He's hitting the ball out the park. He's winning the game on both sides. It's impossible. Not only got to get 10 strikeouts, so I keep you guys off the board. I'm also going to go hit 2 dingers so we can win
Bombs.
the game. Bomb. 455 is not a home run. That is a nuke. 455 is a nuke.
Mahomes and those players, they don't play defense. This guy's playing both ways, and he plays every single day.
13 home runs in the month of June, 37 strikeouts in the month of June.
I guess the player that I left off the list, Maz, and I should have added him, is your favorite player. When he's on, I guess the other is Steph Curry.
Yeah.
For what Steph Curry was able to do in that period from 2014 to 2018, 400 threes a year. I guess he would be someone else that would be included in this. But that wasn't his first 5 years in the league.
Right.
That was like year 8, 9, 10, 11 for Steph. This is year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think the closest thing that I could compare Shohei Ohtani to is Tiger Woods when he came on in '97. What Tiger Woods was doing to the game, I think in 1997 at the Masters, we all watched. Every single person with a television set
You got sneaky with that one.
watched Tiger Woods in '97, and what he did over those first 5 years was as dominant as any player in any sport in any time period ever in the history of professional sports. Tiger Woods.
I can't argue with you.
That's a damn good one.
I can't argue with
Tiger
you.
Woods came, but even with that, Tiger Woods really came into form 2001 through 2007. That was Tiger's legendary stretch. And yes, he was great in the first 5 years in terms of the excitement and what he brought. Shohei won't top that because, like you said, it's America is what's presented. Tiger's an individuality and all the and Terry brought up a great point. He speaks English, and I know that's harsh. Tiger spoke English, so he was able to make all these commercials and build the brand even further. Shohei is amazing, but you got to have an interpreter on the side as well. Even Tiger, man, that's the only thing that would keep Tiger above him. That is Tiger won. And that's the bad thing about Shohei being with the Los Angeles Angels. The Anaheim Angels, a franchise whose owners really doesn't care about winning. You're not going to win anything. So the one thing about his name, for all this individual greatness, there's no winning. There's no championship. There's no playoff appearances attached to it.
He won with Japan in the WBC, though.
So did Ichiro.
Yeah. Ichiro is one of the greatest of all time.
Still throws 96 miles per hour. Did you see that?
Ichiro does?
Yes, still throws 96 mile per hour strike in his uniform.
That son of a gun, man.
I didn't even
he is
see
something.
Yeah,
but it's a pleasure to watch him, and he's must-see TV.
When do the Angels come here? Do we know?
I think they've been here already.
Did they come here already?
Nah.
No, they didn't come yet.
Hold on, I got to pull up a Tiger schedule because now I have to find out when we're going to go see Shohei Ohtani.
Was it the Tigers? No, it wasn't the Tigers that made that comment. Was it the Padres? The comment, the announcer when Ichiro was at bat. Ichiro, but Shohei Ohtani.
What did he say?
It was
July 25th, 26th, 27th, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I'll be there.
Damn, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah,
I will be there.
Who made what about what?
I can't remember.
It was one of the analysts, and I think it was Jack Morris.
It was Jack Morris.
When Jack Morris kind of said something off color.
It wasn't
about
kinda.
Shohei. He meant nothing mean about it, but you can't say the things he said. You can't say anything he says. That's all.
You can't be talking about an Asian player and say, make me very, very uncomfortable.
Yes.
You can't do that. That's not kinda. That's all the way there.
Right. Yeah.
It was funny when we were younger, but now it's a different day.
Different day. Did you know, speaking of different day, speaking of that, like something you say before and now you can't say anything. So did you know that
the F word?
No, Dave Matthews, his most famous song is Crash.
Yeah.
And he doesn't sing that anymore.
Because of what it's about.
Because he's like, as a 26-year-old, it was one thing. Now, as a 56-year-old, I'm kind of creeped out by the hike up your skirt a little more, show your world to me.
Exactly.
Like that. I don't know.
You got daughters now.
I never thought about it like that. It's just a song to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like sports teams and everything
else.
Yes,
absolutely. It really
just
is.
a song. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to undress you.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's just a song.
That does happen.
It's just a song.
It's just a song to you until you really listen to the words. And there's a lot of songs like today. I hear the actual lyrics and the description of it. You're talking about. You're like, oh wow, okay, okay. So it's different, man. And they're sneaky musicians.
Crazy, man.
But in rap, they can say whatever the hell they want.
Yeah. Ain't no black people on the regulators back there. It's all Jewish individuals. So shit, don't blame them. They decided to put that on the air. They sold it and profited off of it. So don't blame the brothers. Because Sony and Epic and all the other places could have said, "No, we cool. Keep that over there in the streets."
Dave Matthews. Okay.
Keep that in the streets.
Look at it.
Exactly.
So great.
Exactly.
I love it. All right, we'll get to the top 10 non-quarterbacks, I promise.
Yes, sir.
First, a message from Planet Fitness.
I'm just saying. All the violence that you could have took it off the air.
Planet Fitness? No, it's not Planet Fitness.
No,
what
it's
is
not.
it? Just say it.
You want me to do it?
Oh, Randy Watts.
Oh, Randy Watson. How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, Braylon and Edwards play golf with us guys, the average Joe? You know it. Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you'll be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make sure you get the wise choice. Pay attention to Woodward Sports for more details on how you can play golf like a celebrity.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. For the latest news, articles, updates, show clips, and merchandise, head over to woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop. Braylon Edwards wearing a really nice golf shirt today.
Appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? That was an interesting question that Parker asked. Parker did it, and JB crushed those grabs. Talked about Shohei Ohtani, man. Like, will his legacy take a hit if he doesn't go somewhere and win some playoff games?
Be shocked if he didn't leave. Shocked.
Of course it would. Like Miguel Cabrera. Like, Miguel Cabrera is one of the best right-handers of all time. You can argue that he's the best. But he's in Detroit. They didn't cross that finish line. So outside the city of Detroit, outside the state of Michigan, outside the baseball world, they're not talking about Miguel Cabrera. If you don't win, everything now is on wins. Why is Bradley Beal going to the Suns? Mm-hmm. Why is KD going from team to team? Why in the NFL? No. Why are receivers? Tyreek Hill. Why are guys like, I want out? Guys want to win championships, because when they finish, nobody wants to be the Charles Barkley guy. When he's saying something, you look at his word, which sucks. You look at Charles Barkley's word a lot different than you look at Shaq. Then you look at Kenny Smith. Even Kenny Smith, he's got 2 rings. Right. He also won North Carolina. You got Shaq sitting up there with 4 rings, one of the greatest of all time. He's up there with no rings. So when he says stuff, guys that are younger are like, I ain't got no rings. I don't want to listen to him. It sucks, but it's true.
Bonds didn't win.
But Bonds hit 72 home runs. I don't give a damn.
Right. Guys, I want to get to this because saw this earlier. NFL Network, NFL.com, Bucky Brooks, top 10 non-quarterback building blocks. I was thinking about this the other day, actually. Who are the 10 best players in the NFL that are not quarterbacks? And I think it's kind of a similar list, but yes and no. But as far as building blocks go, we'll start. Here's the list. At number 10, your guy, Penei Sewell.
Okay.
How about it? Penei Sewell on this list. Then you go to Minkah Fitzpatrick of the
Pittsburgh
Steelers. Tristan Wirfs from the Tampa Bay Bucks. Quinnen Williams of the Jets. You've got Derwin James of the Chargers. And then You want to let
Yeah. Don't get.
Okay.
Hey, what happened to the T's?
Yeah, there's no T's. Go ahead. Whatever you want to say there, Braylon. Go for it.
I was just saying, you put them all up there. They just respond.
Right. Respond to those
It's
five
like, why
guys.
are certain people on the list, though? You look at Panay Sewell. Why is Panay Sewell on the team? Why is a guy like that on the team? I think he's on this list. He's going into year 3. He's still a young guy. He know he can play left tackle. He played when Taylor Decker was out his rookie year. He's played right tackle. Started to excel at it this offseason. He talked about wanting to be more of a leader. I think he's a wild card on that offensive line. I think he can play inside as well, right? If you needed him to. I think he's just dominant on that line for a team that has one of the best lines in the league. Got to put Panay Sewell on that list.
Maz?
I love Panay Sewell. You know, my thing. You're going to see who number 1 is. A big comparison to number 10.
Hey, but look, they're both on the list.
They're both on the list, and they're both going to wear yellow gold jackets before you know it. I got a hunch that Panay Sewell is going to be the leader of this offensive line here pretty soon. Matter of fact, he kind of said, I want to be that guy. And he is going to be the guy that's going to be left standing when Frank Ragnow finally retires, after being beat up and injured, and Taylor Decker steps away after his next when his contract ends. I don't think they're going to re-sign him again. So Panay Sewell is your crown jewel. I'll never forget on draft night when the guys in that Lions draft room, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, Sheila Hamp, were jumping up and down with joy knowing that they're going to be able to draft Panay Sewell. And he has done everything you wanted out of this kid, especially when he came in and he didn't play college ball that last year because of COVID.
Right.
Came in, stood right up, man to man with Aaron Donald. To me, that's when I really said, man, they got a great one here.
Is there a chance? And I know this is going to be a great question for the chat because Maz and the chat have been battling back and forth on this topic since the inception of Panay Sewell and Micah Parsons. Is there a chance that Panay Sewell has a better career than Micah Parsons?
Yeah, he might be longer.
But that's a part of it.
Yeah.
Like, is that a possibility?
Sure, it is, absolutely.
Would better career mean, well, because, again, I go back to better and then I go back to more impactful.
Right.
I don't think this kid's going anywhere, and Panay, I don't think is going anywhere. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I just go back to your
way.
Joe Thomas comment. I just go back to your Joe Thomas day. I mean, Joe Thomas is one of the best offensive linemen
ever
in an era.
Yeah.
And what did he get? What did the Cleveland Browns get out of Joe Thomas's dominance for over a decade?
They got leadership, durability, consistency, but they got no wins.
No wins. And that is why I think it's really difficult for an offensive lineman and just an offensive lineman to be as impactful.
Yeah.
Because you need four other guys. I think you have the ability to be more impactful at linebacker with less.
Yeah, no, you're right. On defense,
less dependent upon others.
Yeah. The reason why I asked the question, though, is just looking at D ends right now, looking at defense lines or outside linebackers for the better part of the last 8 years. These guys get injured all the time. Man, you look at it, start with the injuries, and I guess that would for you be longer career and impactful. Von Miller, man, after his first 7 years, start getting beat up. If you look at his sack rate, first 7 years, here's J.J. Watt. T.J. Watt is now following in that. Nick Bosa's mixing. Joey Bosa's missed games. You start, what's his name? Khalil Mack. The longevity of that DN, that outside linebacker, that's where I start to look at it. And I also look at this. When Micah Parsons got drafted to the Cowboys, they were already the Cowboys. So this here comes the impact for you, Ryan. They were already Cowboys. They were already a playoff team. Yes, he made them much better. Yes, he's one of the best players. But they still got drafted to the Lions. This team sucked. Not only did they suck, what's the best position now for the Lions is the offensive line. Who's the best offensive lineman we have? It's Panay Sewell.
No doubt.
Could get interesting.
No doubt. Guys, let's bring up the top 5 now. Number 5 on this list of top 10 non-quarterback franchise building blocks, Jamar Chase, wide receiver from the Cincinnati Bengals. Sauce Gardner, the defensive rookie of the year from the New York Jets, Detroit's own. And then Justin Jefferson, another wide receiver on the list. He's at number 3. The Minnesota Vikings. Nick Bosa about to get paid for the San Francisco 49ers. And Micah Parsons, there he is, number 1 linebacker Dallas Cowboys. Tom Mazawey, I'll start with you because you pointed it out. The number 1 player on this list as a building block in the NFL at a non-quarterback position is the linebacker Micah Parsons.
I love defense. You guys know who my guy is. It's Lawrence Taylor. And I know there's no Lawrence Taylors around anymore because they won't let you play like Lawrence Taylor played. But this guy, Micah Parsons, is special. He's been special since the day he stepped on the field. He slipped to Dallas. I think they got him at number 10 that year, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe even 11th. Maybe that's why he wears number 11.
He was 11.
Is that why he wears number 11?
Yes.
Okay. So they got him
And
because he had some, I guess, issues or questions about him, about his personality in college. Otherwise, he's a top 5 guy. And he would have been a great Lion, man. He really would have been. But you know what? The Lions are picking it up now. Their defense is coming up to where it should be. But this guy is something special, and I would love to have him on my franchise.
You know what I look at when I see this list? It makes me think about one team. They got one guy in the top 5, and they got one guy in the second tier, and that is the New York Jets. Sauce Gardner's number 4 on this list. Quinnen Williams, number 7 on this list. People forget how good Quinnen Williams and how dominant he was last year going into that season. Didn't play against the Lions, and the Lions won by 3. Tells you how good that defense is when you have Quinnen Williams. They're going to be damn good, man, but they have a guy from Detroit. Sauce Gardner, year 2. He's on this list. He's a damn fine cornerback, man. And it's going to be fun watching this season, watch what he blossoms into. But watch the New York Jets defense, man.
Hey, I ask you guys, before you even talk about it, Ryan, bring up Sauce Gardner again.
Sauce Gardner.
And there he was. And they took Aiden Hutchinson. No problem. Who would you rather have on the team right now? Aiden Hutchinson or Sauce Gardner?
God, it's so hard, Maz, because I think it is hard because you've got your entire new secondary now.
I know,
but Aiden Hutchinson.
I know, but you wouldn't have that whole new secondary if you had Sauce Gardner.
Needed that whole new secondary.
He might have saved what's his name?
No, it would have been
from Ohio State. He might have saved his bacon.
Listen, I think it would have been nearly impossible at the time to draft a
DB.
Rookie of the year?
Yes. Draft a DB number 2 when your DB at number 3 that you took a year and a half earlier was a bust.
Yeah.
That's just a really impossible decision for a general manager to make.
Well, the Jets were happy.
Yeah, the Jets were happy, and I think the Lions worked out pretty good, too.
No, it did. I like Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I asked you a question. But who would you rather have? It was only 2 picks difference.
But the good news right now, the good news about this in this hypothetical we're playing, typically when we play these hypotheticals or in the past, before we even knew each other, before we were working together, typically in the past, whenever you look at what a Lions pick and what they could have had,
like Randy Moss, Terry Fair.
It's so much different. It's like, yo, who would they rather have? Well, they could have had Joe Schmo or they could have had Joe Blow. Like now when you're like,
it's close.
It's like, you know what? Hey, look, we're good.
Yeah.
Like Aiden Hutchinson, Sauce Gardner,
Agreed.
all pro, 100%. We're good with Aiden Hutchinson. You know, you look at Panay Sewell, Micah Parsons. Well, Micah Parsons is a freaking beast. But guess what? So is Panay Sewell. At least now, the misses aren't. They're barely misses.
Where are you at with Jefferson and Chase? Jamar Jefferson and Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Interesting that they're receivers now the second highest paid position. There's only 2 receivers in the top. I think it's.
Did they get that right? Is Jefferson above Chase?
Jefferson's above Chase right now because Chase missed some season last year. But what they got wrong shouldn't be Jamar Chase on that list. Should be Devontae Adams. As bad as the Raiders were last year, Devontae Adams still was Devontae Adams. He had 1,500 yards last year. Guess what? That led to NFL. He had 15 touchdowns. That was third in NFL. He had 15 touchdowns last year. That led to NFL. Doesn't matter if he's with Aaron Rodgers or he's with Derek Carr. He's showing you that he brings his value every time.
Isn't he a little older?
You said what?
Maybe he's because he's a little older.
He's 7 years in.
Building block.
Well, you just gave him $200 million. I'm sure that's what the Raiders are trying to do. They're building around him. When you pay somebody 2 first-round picks and upwards of $200 million, I would say that classifies as building block.
Jay Parker, you got something to say?
Yeah, like Maz was saying, I mean, I think the only reason Devontae Adams is off that list is his age.
Yeah.
I mean,
true.
You could put a lot of receivers or a lot of players that are older and a lot more experienced in the league on that list, but I think the point of the list is young guys in the league. I mean, Micah Parsons is only, 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, you're right. This is a young list.
So I think, if we're like, hey, top 10 best players in the league, period, that are not quarterbacks, for sure Devontae's off that list. But I think going off of like, maybe this is a player I want to build upon for 5 years down the line, that's probably why.
Nick Bosa's 2 years older than Devontae Adams. Just throwing that out there.
Great. 2 years older?
2 years younger.
Wow.
So, not too far off.
Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, news on the gambling situation in the NFL. More players are about to have the hammer dropped on them. We'll go around the NFL as well. It is a Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon.
It was.
If you are watching live. We'll take a break. When we come back, get you around the NFL. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. Grab and go steaks. Order online.
Ate one last night.
Oh,
I did. The one that they gave me last 2 Fridays ago. Thank you, Fairway Packing. Prepared it last week. It was sourced, aged, prime, and prepared to perfection.
Bam! Fairwaypacking.com.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m. All of Detroit sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, Parker, JB. And how you doing, JB? I haven't talked to you yet today. How you doing today, buddy?
Oh, I'm good.
Good?
Feel good, yeah.
I like that hat, man.
Oh, appreciate it.
Always represent.
Always.
Very good.
Did we comment on Maz's Kool-Aid jug yet on the show? Like we can't like this.
Monday, I think we did.
Oh, Monday you did?
I got to bring in the card. So there's a lot of people asking me on the chat where I got it. I'll put it out. If I remember to bring the card in, I'll put out where I got it. It's very affordable, too. And you can actually design your own one. And they'll tell you, the ice stays cold and it stays nice and cold inside. So I highly recommend it.
Let me ask you a question, Ryan. Is that copy, like, now who is the cup by? Is it by the Lions?
No.
Is it by Kool-Aid?
No.
Is that copyright infringement? I don't want to get Maz in trouble. Don't get arrested.
Probably.
Don't get arrested, man.
They do a nice job. This is not like a sticker either. This is like melted on here. Yeah, matted on. It's nicely done.
Very good.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
Guys, before we get to the NFL, do you know 26 years ago today where you were?
I do.
Yeah, where were you, Maz?
Unfortunately, I was up north. I was pulled up there by Kathy, and we were visiting some friends at their they called it Reed Ranch.
Ooh.
It was up in the great north of Michigan. So it's getting late. It's about 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like telling Kathy, hey, I got to get the hell out of here. I got to go find a bar. She's like, I understand. You want to go watch the fight? Yes. I was not going to miss Tyson and Holyfield. No way, no how. So I find somebody at the place, and we take a drive, and we find this back-ass bar full of the regulars. And I walk in there, and I don't belong there. There's no way I belong there.
Why didn't you belong there?
It was just because I think it's the same guys. A bunch of
They didn't want you
They didn't want me there. Anyway, I get up there. I cozy up to the bar, and thank God they had the fight on. They bought the fight, closed circuit, whatever the hell you want to call it. Closed circuit TV. And I got to watch, and I loved Evander Holyfield. I loved the real deal. And I knew he was going to kick the living daylights out of Tyson. It was a great fight, and you know what happened, fellas.
So 26 years ago today, Mike Tyson bit off Evander Holyfield's ear in one of the most shocking moments in sports history, Braylon. Do you remember anything about that night?
Yeah, I do. I was watching the fight. Me and my dad, we went to Rico's house. Rico was a friend of my father and was a friend of mine. Shout out to Rico. What's going on, Ricardo Jenkins? He got the fight. His daughter was on the track team, so we became friends with Rico. He used to get all the fights, all the big pay-per-view events. We went over there and we sat there and watched it. Me and my pops, his cousin, a couple other guys, and to sit there and watch him bite Evander's ear, because remember, you didn't know what happened. It happened in the first round, and Evander kind of fought through it. You didn't really see what happened. It kind of said he might have bit my ear. They let it go again, and then he bit his other ear.
Mills Lane was in that.
Exactly. Yes, as we're watching looking at it right now. So then once it happened to the second ear, then that's when he announced it. Then you saw Mike and everybody get unruly, and it got out of hand. And once again, it goes back to asking that question. I asked the question then at 14, like, why the hell would he bite his ear? Like, what would make him bite his ear? And then years later, you realize he said Evander was headbutting.
Leading with the head.
Said he was leading, which he was doing. Said he was leading with his head. Said he kind of lost it a little bit. Not to mention.
A little bit.
Well, I mean, it goes back. Mike Tyson already, he grew up a certain way. He grew up a little different. Then he went to jail. Like, you're talking about somebody who was already off, goes to jail, never gets the help he needed, and he got his ears bitten. That was it. But if it didn't get his ears bitten, would he have turned into the great person he is today? That's the question.
I don't remember exactly where I was 26 years ago watching that, but I do remember watching it, and I couldn't understand what had happened. I just remember, like, why is Evander Holyfield jumping around? Like, what happened?
He was dominating the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Tyson actually was having a good round that particular round, and he just lost it, man. I mean, you're a man against a man. A man don't go bite another man. This, not even in UFC, not even in, what's the UFC, right? Not even in UFC did they do that. I mean, this is boxing. Crying out loud. I mean, anyway, it was something.
But it was watching Mike as a kid, and then watching Mike when he got out of jail, which I guess I still technically was a kid, but I was older. Like, he just never looked the same. Like, I used to watch all the fights back in the 80s with my dad, the ones I can remember. Watch the 90s always. Excuse me. But when he just came back, man, and he fought, Peter Conklin, and just Peter McNeely, excuse me, not Peter
McNeely.
He hit Peter McNeely. I'm like, this Phantom.
Who also looked like he had just gotten out of the penitentiary.
Because he did. They dug him up. It was like the movie Great White Hype. They found this dude. He probably was at the bar that Maz watched the fight at. But you got Peter McNeely, and he fights Francois Botha. Then they find Bruce Seldon out of wherever he was at, and Frank Bruno. Like, he was just fighting guys.
Bruno was like an Adonis.
He was an Adonis, but he couldn't fight anymore.
No, he couldn't fight.
Like, he was fighting guys.
He was the British champion.
He just didn't look the same. And then when he got in the ring with Evander, it was like, it clicked. I said, holy shoot, like, Tyson's lost it, or lost that edge that Tyson had in the late 80s after which is Buster Douglas. He's not the same fighter anymore. And the Evander Holyfield fight is the one that I was like, wow, he's not the same fighter. And then obviously Lennox Lewis happened. It was over.
People forget that Holyfield came up as a cruiserweight, which is less than a heavyweight.
He had to gain weight to make money.
Yeah,
though.
he had to go up to fight because he had no one to fight. And he was a true warrior. Evander Holyfield was. I just absolutely loved him and Riddick Bowe. Epic fights against each other. Him and Lennox Lewis, epic fights.
The Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield trilogy is one of the best of all time. I asked Evander Holyfield, remember I saw him last year at the Rocket Mortgage. I asked him, I said, what made you go up to the cruiserweight? He said money.
Yeah.
He said, I used to be on the undercard of Tyson's fights. He said, I was just a little bit smaller than him, but I was taller than him. He said, Mike's walking out at that time, 1.2 a fight. I'm walking out of there with about 85,000. He said, that's what made me move up.
Anyway, boxing.
Do you know who the heavyweight champion of the world is right now?
I do.
Yes.
Who?
The Gypsy King.
Tyson Fury?
Yeah, Tyson Fury.
He's the WBC heavyweight champion.
Did Deontay Wilder get a belt back
somehow? Who is the WBA, IBF, and WBO World Heavyweight
I got you.
Champion?
Usyk. Yeah, there we go.
Alexander Usyk.
Wow.
Because Usyk beat Joshua.
No clue.
How about can they get in the freaking ring?
Usyk is so
Get
much.
in the ring. I forgot what you guys even look like.
He's so much smaller than Gypsy King, though. Like I don't want to
Super
see that
middleweight
fight.
Canelo Alvarez.
Gypsy King won't lose. If he fights anybody, he's not going to lose.
He's a good fighter too.
Just get in the ring, guys. You're killing it, man. Just like
17
yesterday was the
different
anniversary
classes.
of Spinks and Tyson.
I know.
That was in Atlantic City, and I couldn't wait. I go to my buddy's house, and we always watch the fights together. And I go in, I'm like, hey, let's get a couple of pizzas ordered. The pizza's are on the way.
Couple of pizzas.
Oh, no, the fight's starting already. Now, if you remember what happened before that fight.
I do.
Tyson punched a hole in the dressing room wall, and Spinks heard about it, and Spinks literally crapped himself.
Quit.
Did not want to even come out and fight. I remember when they introduced him, he was like this, yeah. He was like that. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. He got knocked out before the freaking pizza came.
We went to an arena in Tampa, Florida. We were visiting my uncle in Tampa, Florida that weekend, and you could buy tickets to the big arena there, and you can watch the fight. We were there for 30 seconds. I mean, we had walked in, we had gotten to our seats, and then the fight was over.
At least you got into your seats.
Yeah.
At least you made it to your seats. You don't know how many times like we've had people over for these events, and they didn't even get a chance to get in the door yet, and the fight's already over, man. But
no doubt.
Mike Tyson.
They don't make them like that anymore.
No, they do not. Guys, we'll go around the NFL next, but first a message from Outdoor Equipment Company. Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment. Sales, service, parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit this website right here, OutdoorEquipCo.com. OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
The chat asks, and you receive, there's Megan the Stallion.
I want to see her throwing out the first pitch.
If it's good enough for the Grammys and the American Music Awards, it's good enough for Woodward Sports Network.
Throw out the first pitch on opening night
How
in
about
Houston.
that? Very good.
I was at the bowling alley that night,
Stallion.
and I looked up at the TV. We were practicing.
Right.
I looked up and I just stopped practicing.
What was it? What was
my
it?
mouth
that,
just dropped.
What was it that dropped your mouth, man?
Everything.
It was everything.
Everything.
Oh, yeah.
She is a Houston native, and it shows.
She's definitely something.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Oh, very good. As we go around the NFL, here we go. Gambling.
I know. More players, guys, involved in the NFL gambling probe, including Isaiah Rodgers of the Colts. He's going to receive a season-long gambling suspension along with others. And this has been rumored now for weeks. And the NFL even went back and doubled down and said, yeah, we got to reinforce the rules to our players. And you know what we say here in Detroit? No crap. No kidding that you have to reinforce the rules, because we told you, Jeff Risdon broke that story, that Jamison Williams was caught gambling on his phone on a college game on the road at a hotel. And because the team stayed there, that's how he got hit for a 6-game suspension, which I say,
if I was a head coach in football, if I was an owner, well, really a head coach, I think it would have to come, well, it could come from anybody. Owner, head coach, GM, I would have a rule, no internet gambling. You want to bet, go to the casino. Because chances are you can't do much damage there. You're not going to bet on an NFL game because you should know the rules. But I would have, it's not illegal to have facial hair either, and there are organizations that won't let you have facial hair.
That's only one. That's the Yankees.
Well, but again,
you can have a mustache.
Exactly.
But again, it's a rule. It's a rule. It's a rule. You might not like the rule, but it's a rule. If I was the coach of the NFL, no internet gambling, no gambling.
Ryan,
Braylon
hit it on the head.
But you
don't gamble on football.
Hold on, but you also have the choice whether you want to go to New York or not. So I understand that. Look, the bigger problem is this is an issue with. We know what the issue is. We talked about it. It's with the NFL. I told you when this thing first came out, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're trying to support the players." So the NFL doesn't do a good job of presenting information. They never do a good job of presenting information to players, but they present information to the public. Like, this is what we're doing. This is what we've said, and it's not the truth. Now, to what you say, Ryan Ermanni, that would be a great idea. Maz, that would be an excellent concept if this was 1980. If this was 1990, if this was 2000, hell, if it was 2010. But we live in a new age now. These head coaches, they're my age. In fact, most of them are younger than me in the NFL now, and I'm 40. These guys are 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. They no longer want to be tyrants. They don't want to be Bill Belichick. They saw how that worked in the long run. They don't want to be Andy Reid's the old guy, but it's the cool guy. Pete Carroll, the reason why he's lasted, he's an old guy, but he's the cool guy. All that tyrant stuff, how you run the program, they don't run it like that anymore. They want to be the players' friends. They want to be the players' homeboys. Hell, they want to go to Cabo and hang out by the pool with the players. So they're never going to be just this is what it is, take it or leave it. You can't do this. They're going to say, hey, fellas, if you guys want to make some bets, just make sure you're doing it in the right place. I don't understand why you guys have to bet anyway. They're suggestive. It's not going to be, this is what the line is, or this is where the buck stops, in the words of Harriet Truman. It's like, guys, you don't have to do it. You shouldn't. You make too much money.
I like your presidential drop-ins.
It's my guy.
Why is this poor guy, though, got to be the scapegoat for this now, though? Like, why is this poor guy got to...
He ain't the scapegoat. The Lions are the scapegoat.
But if they're saying, like, the NFL is going to have all these suspensions this week, why just come out and leak this cat?
They leaked them a month ago.
No, Rodgers?
Yeah,
they did drop Rodgers, but now they're dropping it again, and then they're saying they have more.
Right.
Just like they dropped the one they said $8 million, and you still haven't heard his name yet. I think I know who it is, but I'll save that for another day. But the bigger thing is, why is it still more coming out? Like, where is the disconnect? True, this is the real question. Where is the disconnect? Because I'm a man of simple logic. If you tell me I can't bet here, if you tell me I can't bet there, but you tell me I can bet on this thing, well, I understand in my mind, I can't bet in the team hotel, I can't bet at the facility, I can't bet in those places. I can't bet at an NFL or a Lions-sanctioned event because it's still a Lions event, and they can pull that card that I was working for the... So I know, just do it at home. So something else has to be going on here. There's something else that is some disconnect. I could not believe that all these individuals have this, like they have this blueprint, or they have the rules and they have the guidelines, and everybody's reading it. They're seeing the same thing, but yet and still, every month you're dropping 5 new players, 6 new players. Oh, we got more guys for you. Wait till we tell you about this. Like Ryan said, what the hell are you waiting for? What is the process in play right here? Because clearly the NFL is failing to get these guys information, or they're just so obsessed with seeing FanDuel and seeing, Fanatics, or seeing DraftKings, or seeing MGM bets that they want to make a bet. They're that inclined to make a bet. What the F is going on
Listen,
here?
This is how easy it is. You turn off your Wi-Fi. You're on your phone. If I'm on the team bus, Why? If I put a bet in, how the hell how are they tracking me?
Your location, you can't.
I told you it's the betting sites themselves.
Yeah. You can't place a bet without a location service on because it has
you're
to
right.
be legal
Okay.
in.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
But what the hell, man?
So once they see
I'm
the
at a
names
team,
come across,
I'm at a team hotel. I'm laying on the bed watching TV, or I'm playing Xbox, and I can't go on my phone. I'm leaning over, and there's the app. Let me just go on.
MGM does not care about Jamison Williams.
Oh, the
or
Mets
his
are
livelihood.
Mets are
They
playing
care
at
about
the
Roger
NFL.
Goodell and their partnership with them.
The Mets.
Yeah.
Let me bet the Mets. Why am I getting hit?
Right.
It's bullshit.
Because I told you they put pings in. They put pings in. Every player that is on an NFL roster, they put their names into the betting sites. All the sports book, they have every name. They have all the information. Once you place a bet, it pings. And now they're looking like, okay, give you case example. Amon-Ra St. Brown, ping, his name came up. I'm Caesar Sportsbook. I'm like, okay, Amon-Ra St. Brown got a ping. Okay, he plays for Detroit Lions. Okay, where is this location at? This location is Allen Park. Or they just give them the information. They give them the ping. Hey, your player came up. It's like Wanted movie. Hey, your name came up. Here it is. The name came up. They probably send it to them and say, this is where you're at. And then the Lions will look at where was Amon-Ra St. Brown on this given day. Where was he at? Oh, shoot. He was on the airplane. He was on a bus to the airport. That's how they do it. But it's still stupid.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I absolutely hate it.
I do too.
Just knock off, black out the NFL games for these guys. Just black them out.
Doesn't
You
sound
can't-
that hard.
you can't bet on them.
Can't do it.
The hell with it.
Next story.
DirecTV. Remember DirecTV had the NFL ticket for all those years.
Do you remember DirecTV?
Well,
I don't.
the only reason people had DirecTV was because of the NFL package. Well, they lost it to YouTube. So they decided now we'll carry the NFL Network, which they didn't have before, and they're going to carry Red Zone on all platforms going forward. I guess they're just trying to stay alive by doing this.
There's no reason to have DirecTV, really. I mean, it was the NFL and all the. Now you can. Any of these services has all these games, right? I mean, DirecTV seems like a company that.
But it's a big.
I'm clinging on to it, man.
Yeah, you are. You got it.
I'm clinging. That's called. I took a self shot at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
I got
good.
every streaming service known to man.
Yesterday-
Red Zone's a really good channel, though.
Yesterday, the Chiefs game against the Dolphins. They're going to play in Germany this year. Well, it went up for sale. Tickets went up for sale at noon.
15 minutes.
They had millions of people in the queue. You know when you go to buy tickets and for a concert, you get put in the queue. You got to wait your turn. Well, guess what? If you didn't get in there before 12:15, you were out of luck. And the tickets were exorbitant. This game sold out in less than 15 minutes.
Wow. 15 minutes?
It's the Patrick Mahomes effect.
Damn.
It's the
In
Patrick
Germany.
Mahomes effect. I mean, they did Frankfurt last year. It went well for the NFL. And
Yeah,
now
remember that
you
was Giants and the Packers.
And now you're bringing in Kansas City Chiefs. You mean to tell me I had to watch this horrible game? And this is like I watched this game. I thought it was amazing. You guys tell me it's horrible. You tell me that this Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes is a real deal. Shoot, I want to see that Patrick Mahomes effect, man.
Speaking of the Dolphins,
That's dope, though.
Guess what? We told you about it yesterday that it was a rumor. Well, the Dolphins have officially put out an offer for Dalvin Cook.
This was going to be one of my cap or no caps, Ryan. I was going to ask you, where would the best fit for Dalvin Cook be? Would the best fit be Miami, or would the best fit be with his brother with the Buffalo Bills? There's. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Todd Pelissero said that Cook has multiple offers on the table, and around half of a dozen teams have shown interest. Cook will command a significant contract.
You got to look at it like this. I mean, one, this has become the big thing because we've used it a lot, and it was always a thing. We got my condo in Miami for state tax purposes. Obviously, it doesn't work like that, but it's no state tax. Guys, you want to win. So if you're looking at who's on the market, who's looking for a running back, who's looking for my services, who's closest to winning, that's the first thing. Okay, you got the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, Missouri, they probably won't give me what I want, probably not interested. You got the Buffalo Bills, my brother's up there, but it's Buffalo, it's New York. I got to pay state tax, and I'm living in Buffalo. There's Florida, it's no state tax. Tua says he's good. They brought in Jalen Hurts. They brought in one of the best defensive coordinators in Vic Fangio. I'm also from Florida. I went to Florida State. I know the state well. shoot, why not? Guys want to go not only to teams that are good and that are challenging, they want to go to teams that are fun too.
They also rumored him to the Jets. They said him and Breece Hall together for the Jets would be dynamite.
The Jets and the Lions are going to be the teams that whenever somebody comes out, everybody's going to mention the Jets and the Lions. It's kind of it's stopping now because both of these teams are getting loaded, but they're always going to mention the Jets now because of Aaron Rodgers and that, and also the Lions. Wouldn't be a bad move for them though, to kind of hedge your bet. I mean, you saw what the Rams did. Like, they just kept adding pieces. Like, shoot, let's get him. Let's get him. You know, the Buccaneers did a couple years ago, too. Just keep adding.
Hey, do you guys know what tonight is?
NHL Draft. We'll get there next. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 55 years. Les Stanford Buick GMC, same great service that customers have come to know, just south of 9 Mile. Of course, looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads. Find them.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Here we go, NHL Draft tonight. The Red Wings have 2 picks as of right now in the first round. Tom Mazawey.
They are picking 9th, of course. Why pick in the top 3, right? And they're going to pick 17th. Of course, #1 is going to the arch enemy, Chicago Blackhawks, who will take Connor Bedard.
Oh, Bedard.
Guess what? They get to open the season with the first 5 games on the road, by the way. The Red Wings put out their schedule yesterday. So here you go. Just the games that I can tell you about. They open in New Jersey on October the 12th. The home opener 2 nights later against Tampa Bay, of course. And then New Year's Eve against the Boston Bruins. That's going to be a very hot ticket.
Tyler Bertuzzi and the Boston Bruins.
Yes.
Interesting enough, I mentioned that a minute ago. Like, they're actually thinking about, they're entertaining bringing Tyler Bertuzzi back. Like, I actually really like Bertuzzi. You saw Dylan Larkin almost fall apart at the podium thinking about Tyler Bertuzzi when he found out, which was a horrible move, by the way. But I was looking, I was trying to come up with something fun. Now, this is kind of shifting, but it led me to find out some information from Neil Rue. Shout out to Neil Rue, Big D Energy, 11-1, Woodward Sports Network. I was trying to find the best picks in Red Wings history that were 7 or back, because obviously that's where the Red Wings, 9, excuse me.
Yeah.
That's what the Red Wings picked this year, so I went 9 and back. Let me look at, and I'm looking, everybody that's in the top 10 is drafted like pick 171, pick 241, pick 40. I mean, I think Chris Osgood was 45, Steve Yzerman was 4, but everybody else was way down the line.
I like to hear that.
And I asked, and I said, but I wondered why. And it's because the Red Wings are really the first professional hockey team or professional sports team to recruit overseas, to recruit other countries. And then it made sense. The Russian Five, like all those guys are like way lower picks because nobody knew about them. They were taking chances on these guys just like the Red Wings did 2 years ago. Found out they drafted, Lucas Raymond. Oh, no, excuse me, Mo Seider. He's the first German-born first-round pick that they drafted. And then there was another. This year, I think they're interested in someone from Austria. It's another guy they recruited. So the Red Wings have always been ahead of the curve as it relates to recruiting. At least they used to be, because we ain't won no playoff games.
Do you know the Red Wings have 3 straight picks in the second round, too?
Wow.
High up in the second round.
He has moved players around to pick up draft picks. And next
41,
year,
42, and 43.
Next year they have a #1 pick coming to them from another team, I forget. And it's probably be a top 5 pick.
Wow.
So they got some stuff. Did you see how they put their schedule out, by the way? They had their own little schedule release video. Do you remember last year at one of the games, they focused on this kid, and his name is George. He was on the Jumbotron.
George. Yeah.
He was on the Jumbotron.
He was at the NHL Awards.
Yes.
The other day.
I mean,
yeah.
George is like, he is the Red
He's
Wings.
the new orange hat guy.
He is.
Okay.
He's what was it, Mo Cheese?
Mo Cheese.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, here's how I'm going to give you the video. I just told Parker, now we won't play the video, but why not? Let's play the Red Wings from DetroitRedWings.com. This is how their schedule release came out with Little George.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Look at
okay.
George.
Got the Stockholm.
George.
Look at George.
Okay,
George
break dance.
George is he's very popular right now.
George is kicking. Look at that. The
I
Fox.
love it. Good
At the
job,
Fox.
George. Good job. Very clever. Very clever. Hopefully he's getting
Getting
paid
compensated.
handsomely.
You know he's not.
He's getting a jersey.
Right. He's getting a jersey.
That's not enough.
I'll give you hopefully at least he gets some free seats.
You want
You
some
know
of
he's
these
getting
minutes?
seats.
He's
You
gonna
think
hand
so?
Yes. Don't you think they at
I
least
don't
giving him
know,
seats?
man.
for a game.
For what?
For a game.
wanna go to the October game?
A game here and there?
Listen, man, you know how organizations are. They will find a way and come up with a reason why they got to shortcut you. They did all this. I'm like, yeah, we get you some game tickets. It's a presentation.
Braylon, give me a quick thought to let people leave the show with and think about the possibilities of what could have been. You were talking at the top of the show about Ryan Mallett transferring.
Tragic passing yesterday.
Just tragic.
At 35 years young.
Definitely tragic, and we talked about that, and I don't want to necessarily go back into that, but just thinking about him from the field point of view, Michigan always had a certain type of quarterback, and it's gotten back to that type of quarterback for the most part. Is they had a big guy in the pocket, and JJ can move, so let me not say that, but they had a big guy in the pocket, Tom Brady, John Navarre, Elvis Gerback. You look at these quarterbacks. It's gonna be I always forget his name. Todd Collins, that's the one. These big quarterbacks command the offense, offensive line, go through the running game, and you have some big wide receivers on the outside. When they got rid of Lloyd Carr, when Lloyd Carr retired, they brought in Rich Rod. He changed the system up. Rich Rodriguez, he wanted to bring in Trevor Pryor he was going to go to Michigan, but he wanted to go to West Virginia. He didn't want to go to Michigan, he went to Ohio State instead. He changed it up. Then you have this string of quarterbacks that just did nothing for the most part. Take Forcier's and Forcier brothers, and you followed down this string of just confusing offense and losing yourself. Didn't have an identity. Ryan Mallett was the prototypical Michigan quarterback with a strong arm, and we still had good wide receivers early on. Adrian Arrington was still here. Mario Manningham still had another year. You had George Matthews, Junior Hemingway. You still had some big wideouts. When he transferred, you bring in Rich Rod, change the system up. Michigan struggled for the better part of 14 years with identity. Ryan Mallett, I think that could have been a huge move.
Rest in peace, Ryan Mallett. My goodness.
Hey,
what a
shout out to
tragedy.
the Tigers last night. Well, they didn't win, but it was great to see Matt Manning pitch. That kid's going to be an ace. I hope he gets to stay here. Bad news, obviously, Matthew Boyd, Tommy John surgery, and they're still 4.5 games out.
Here's something
they're actually
you.
4 games out because the Twins lost today.
They gained ground.
They can't gain ground.
Now the Guardians have jumped them, so they are 3.5 out.
They're
the Guardians.
tied. They're tied. The
Okay.
Guardians and Twins are tied.
Okay.
Both teams 2 games under 500.
Wow.
You don't think Ryan Mallett can help? What do you say J.J. McCarthy can do? What's the one thing you keep saying? Had the most passing yards and touchdowns, right? Because the stats aren't that big.
it.
Ryan Mallett had 3,938 touchdowns his junior year, and he had 3,939 touchdowns his senior year. You don't think that could have helped Michigan back then?
Damn.
Yeah, it's a lot of touchdowns.
Think about that. All right, Bray, get us out of here, my friend. Hell of a show.
Another fun show tomorrow. Top 10 Thursdays. Who knows what I'm gonna be thinking? Got some good stuff for you guys, man. But hey, another good show. Love the concert stuff. Maz, you ready? 2 days, man. We're going back to Dispo.
Oh.
2 days.
Okay.
2 days.
I'll be there.
2 days. But tomorrow we'll be back in studio with my man JB, my man Parker on the tunes. Hey, see you guys tomorrow.
See ya.